Welcome to the Powerlifting and Power Ballads podcast, where we bring you a weekly dose of powerlifting news, tips, and training advice with a touch of 80s rock ballads. This podcast is presented by Team Roar Powerlifting, your source of the most comprehensive coaching and meet day preparation. Here are your hosts, Josh Rohr and Laura Sturm.
Welcome to episode 169. How are you, Josh Rohr?
I'm good. How are you?
Awesome. So I know we went back to asking questions for our listeners to post, and I think we got one recently.
So we had a question come in. The question was from Shelly Stettner. Her question was, recently jumped back over to USAPL from PA. Current goal is to compete in Masters Pro. First meet I'm on the roster is end of July. How to plan a path to the Arnold or wherever Masters Pro will be held. So I figure we'll just kind of go through that process there. Shelly, does that summarize the question you had?
It does, except I am now going to be competing in the Masters of Iron, or no, not Masters of Iron, Ladies of Iron meet, May 4th. I got into that meet too. So that'll be my first USAPL, back into USAPL meet.
Awesome. Well, welcome to the episode. Thanks for joining
us.
Well,
that too. Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah. So I figured we'll kind of go through and ask any follow-up questions, but we'll kind of go through, I guess, what your process would be to get into the Pro Series again. So basically, the Pro qualifiers this year are the Arnold, which already happened, the regionals. So each region, if you win Best Lifter, you get your Pro card. And that's for Open and Masters. So if you're the best Masters lifter at regionals, you get a Pro card. And then the Masters World Cup, if you're the top three best lifter in the Masters, you'll get a Pro card. And then Raw Nationals would be if you're the top 15 best lifter. So the difference with the Pro Series this year versus the past few years is it's been simplified. So there's no longer the need to do two separate events and add those together. It's now just your best dots from any of those events. So basically, theoretically, like if you did regionals and won best lifter and got your Pro card there, whatever your dot score was at that meet will be put on the leaderboard and you'll be ranked against the rest of the masters that have got a Pro card. And that alone is enough to get you to the finals if you have a dot score that's in the top 10 at the end of the year. Mm-hmm. So if you want to get to the next finals, the 2024 finals, you would either need to do regionals, the Masters World Cup, or Raw Nationals, but Raw Nationals is already sold out.
Yeah, and those other two things I don't think would be a possibility because regionals, you have to have competed in a USAPL meet since 2023. And
or 2024.
Okay, right.
It's up until the deadline.
Up until the deadline. And for regionals, for me, is like June 1st or something. And there's no way. I mean, maybe with this meet in May 4th, I might be able to slide in, but I think they're already registration's closed. And the Masters Cup, World Cup is already closed too. So I think I'm just out of luck for this year.
So I believe, I'm looking that up right now. I believe regionals is still open. Central and Midwest are being run together.
Yeah.
And registration closes May 1st.
Oh.
And it looks like registration is open. I just went to the registration page, so you could still register.
Except I have to get a meet in.
But you're doing the Ladies of Iron, so that would.
I am on May 4th. Yeah.
Yeah. So that would count as your meet.
I could. Yeah. I mean, I didn't know if I was going to be able to get into the Ladies of Iron. So, yeah, I might be able to slip in this year. That would be good.
Yep. And the other thing is, if you wanted to do Raw Nationals, if you do, everybody that earns their Pro card at either regionals or Masters World Cup, they're going to get an invite to register for Raw Nationals, even though it's full.
Oh.
So you don't actually need to do Raw Nationals to get to the pro finals because that's no longer a requirement. But if you wanted to do Raw Nationals, you would get an invite by getting your pro card.
Well, we'll see. Maybe it's still a possibility then for this year.
Yeah,
That's exciting. Yeah.
It looks like it's still on the table.
Yep. Well, I just found out yesterday that I was going to be able to compete in the Ladies of Iron meet. So it's I didn't know. So I don't know. And I also am coming back from an injury too. So we'll see.
So the stars might be aligning, huh?
Yeah, that could be.
You could always do the Ladies of Iron as a, get some token lifts in there.
Yep.
So don't train for that and then really train for the regionals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Give you a little bit more time to recover.
Yep. Probably a good strategy.
Yeah. So I guess for those that don't know who you are, I guess we should have maybe started there. Do you want to talk a little bit about who you are, what you've done? I know who you are, and I will brag about you if you don't want to, but you know yourself better than me, I think.
Yeah, well, I'm an M4 lifter. I started not that many years ago. I just turned 73 and first picked up a barbell. Never had even held one before when I was about 65 years old. So, and well, I got a Masters World Championship IPF. That was fun.
Congrats.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And before that, I had some national championships, the USAPL and the first Virginia Pro. That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the Masters world, I've kind of been around the block a little bit, but don't have that pro card yet.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
know that's the dangling carrot. So is
Yep.
that the reason is that the reason you've come back to USA Powerlifting, or is there
Yeah.
more to that?
Yeah, it's a little bit like unfinished business. And I got the world championship, which was the goal, which was cool. Don't have any desire to be traveling to Mongolia or South Africa, quite frankly. Sheffield's not in the cards for a master's lifter. And the pro card was still sitting out there in my bucket list, needs to get in there. So, and I miss
Awesome.
my friends. I really miss the local meets. USAPL is the best with that. So yeah, I'm excited to be back.
Awesome. Well, we're happy to have you back.
Yeah.
So Shelly, I'm just curious, when you say you 2 weeks before turning 65, you started picking up the barbell. Like what made you do that at that point?
Well, actually, there was someone that I worked with. We had worked together alongside one another for like 15 years, and then he was going to be leaving the emergency room, one of the docs that I work with, and he was going to be opening up a gym. And it was Jonathan Sullivan who co-authored the barbell prescription for starting strength. And he had, at that time, his first beginning gym. And I went over there. I didn't know what he did. So I went over and checked it out. And there was these tiny woman, older than me even, hoisting these barbells up in the air. And I thought that was really cool. I wanted to learn how to do it. And that's where it started. He taught me from the very beginning.
Nice. I like to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear a lot of people have age as an excuse. Often like, oh, I'm too old to do that, or I can't do that. Just people, I don't know, they age is just such an excuse. And then I see people that, are getting stronger as they age. And
Yeah.
there's this one, I think there's a doctor guy that I saw the other day, and he was like 70 something, and he was just ripped. And I'm just thinking, man, that's really how we should be aiming to age like that.
Yeah.
Why can't we?
Yeah, it's not easy, I mean, the training is not an easy thing to do, and sometimes it's not fun. But well, I'll take that back. I mean, there's always a fun element in it, yeah. But I had to do it. I was rapidly turning into a little old lady with no muscle mass at all. I mean, it was like disappearing in front of my eyes. It was pretty stark at that age. It happens very fast. And yeah, I think I've been able to halt it and maybe turn it around a little bit. And am certainly stronger now than I've ever been in my whole life. And it's really fun.
That's awesome.
What are your best competition lifts, just for everybody listening?
Oh, and
Well, first of all, what weight class do you compete in, and what are your top lifts?
well, I gotta be careful because USAPL now it's like what, 67,
Yeah.
67.5.
Yep.
And this Monday morning, my weight was 60.3 kilograms. So
So there is
Yeah.
a 60 kilo weight class too.
I know,
So
but
you're like right there.
I'm like right there. I don't know if I really want to move into that at this point. That would be maybe a little bit too much stress. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so that's the weight class. And competition lifts for squat in the gym or in a meet?
We'll say in a meet.
Oh,
Okay, we'll say both.
all right. Well, I did do a pretty nice 270 in the gym, but failed it in the meet. But I did get a 260. So that was cool. And let's see, bench press meet PR, I think is 149. And deadlift, I have battle to do with the deadlift. Deadlift is 220, or rather 325. Wait, yeah, 325, but I've failed 330. So yeah, 330 is sitting there waiting for me.
That's awesome.
I know a lot of high school guys that can't do those numbers.
Right?
Yeah.
Uh,
And it's
Oh.
funny to me because so people come to me now like in their 40s and they're like, well, I probably can't really get stronger at this point because I'm already 40. And I'm just like, are you shitting
Yeah.
me? Like,
Yeah.
and then I use you as an example, and a couple other people that I coach
Mhm.
as well. Like, hey, they're still getting stronger in their 70s. So
That's right.
first of all, like, we're not going to be a good fit if that's what you really think. Second of all, you're wrong. Kind of blunt.
Oh.
But yeah, that's awesome. We're excited to see what you do. Back in the USAPL Pro Series.
Yeah, there's some competition. Yeah.
Yeah, well, so I guess I don't know if you know or not, but the Pro Series Masters champion the last 2 years is one of our lifters.
Yes.
So
Alicia Webb.
yeah, so we're excited. We're excited
Yeah.
to be able to compete against you, but like we'll be friendly. We'll be rooting for you, but I'm obviously gonna be trying to beat you too.
Well, look back at that Virginia Pro, the very first one.
Yeah, oh, I watched it.
It's the dots and yeah, that age coefficient.
Yeah. Well, so the age coefficient, I guess maybe just to make sure that they did change it from back then, so it is different now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So basically, so when it was originally done, it was the statistics of it were done based on the average life expectancy of like 65. So when you're competing as a 70-year-old, you're off the chart, right? So
Right.
we last year we redid the age coefficient with today's age life expectancy and all of the lifter data from now versus like 1960 when it was done. So it's still a big coefficient, but it's not what it was. Do you want to know so I did some math because I'm a nerd.
Yeah, no, go ahead. I need to know.
He is a nerd.
I'm a super nerd. So, I looked up your best dot score and best dot score and used the current age coefficient, and you both it's strange because you both came out to exactly 529.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah. But that's using
What are the odds?
each of your best ever dots.
I better
So-
work hard. She's
Yeah.
gonna, she's amazing. She's amazing.
Yeah, well, you are as well. So it'll be a lot of fun. And I think that's what a lot of people were complaining when let's say this. There were some Master Fours complaining about the new age coefficient, saying that it's impossible to win now. But I disagree, because if we look at you, like you're there with like the best. So like that the 529 is well over what won this year. But again, that's so, if you're the best, you're the best straight up. It's it's fun. I think it makes it a lot more competitive. And I think it's a lot more fair this way.
Well,
And,
to be
you're
honest,
obviously still the person we have circled on our watch list.
well, to be honest, this is because I am competitive by nature. And it's, yeah, I wanted to come back for this because, I mean, yeah, it's fun to stand on the podium, but not by yourself.
Mm.
And even, even just having like some close competition too is fun.
Yeah,
I think it makes it mean a little bit more when you actually, you had to really show up to win,
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be a lot of fun.
So on the side here, by the way, Alicia's sister, Al, she and I have worked together for over 20 years. And yeah, she was, Al is the one that taught me how to use Instagram. And yeah, so she's we've got a little connection there.
Yeah, that's crazy. So I guess that kind of makes sense because Lee's from Michigan. She's from Detroit. So that's probably where her family is at. That
Yeah,
makes sense.
it's definitely where her family. Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's a fun little trivia there. I wouldn't have thought of.
Yeah.
6 degrees of separation.
Yeah. So does Lee know that you work with her sister?
I believe she does. Yeah.
Okay.
And we've met. Although when we met back at the Arnold, she and I did not know that Al was her sister at that time. So
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. Yeah, that's awesome. I love when those like worlds collide situations happen. It's pretty cool.
Right. Al's the oldest, I believe. Yeah.
Cool. Let's see. I had some other questions for you somewhere. Oh yeah, music. We got to talk about music a little bit.
Of course.
Because that's a part of our podcast here. So what do you listen to when you're training? If you listen to anything?
Room noise. Whatever's going on in the room. I mean, if it's really, I can't handle it all. I've got my playlist, and it's it's just a mix, a variety of things. I don't know. What are the names of them? I don't even know the names of these things that I listen to. I just sort of Parkway Drive, I listen to some of the old metal stuff, Metallica, that kind of thing. Five Finger Death Punch.
You're speaking my language a little bit.
Yeah,
a little more Laura's language, I think.
Yes.
So I mean, that's basically it right now. I mean, nothing too much out of the ordinary. If there's a whole lot of screaming, I have to turn that off after a bit, though.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're at the 2024 Pro Series Finals, and you need your third deadlift to win. What are you listening to?
Probably Bottom Feeder by Park. What did I put down there? What is it?
Bottom Feeder by Parkway Drive.
Right. Or Kryptonite, Three Doors Down. That's another one that seems to work really well. Really any of those.
Those are all good choices.
Angry songs. If it's a deadlift.
I gotcha. Yeah, I'm not too much of an angry music when I'm lifting. Laura is.
Is she? Yeah.
Yeah.
I am during squat, but in deadlifts, I need a tearjerker.
Oh my.
So
That's interesting.
Yeah, we're weird.
yeah, pretty much. If you've ever seen Josh coming up to his third deadlift, he's in tears. He's just his heart is like wrung, and he's just yeah.
It's true.
And I identify with that.
Yeah.
I don't know how that happened, but
We also may have psychological issues. We don't know.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
very
man.
true. So for a new lifter tip, what would you tell a new lifter to do? What would be your tip?
Oh, get a coach.
How has
Yeah.
that made a difference to you?
Huge. You know, I just, Andy Baker is my coach, and he tells me what to do, and that's what I do. And I figure if he feels I can do it, well, I can do it. So, I mean, you know, he just plots the way. And you know, I also have a nutrition guy, and he tells me what to eat, when to eat. And you know, I just sort of give it up to them, and it works.
So where do you train at? I know you said Baker's your coach, but where's that at? And I guess
Oh, well,
plug your coach a little bit.
yeah, he's in Houston. He's in Houston. So, and I'm in Michigan, so it's online. And I did train in my basement, but now I can't do that any longer. So I'm at the gym. I'm at Rochester Performance Gym, and a great community over there. And it's actually good. I mean, training at home in the basement is good. It's fun, but being with a community of people and is just can't be beat. So I'm real happy to be back in the gym.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What is one thing that people don't know about you that you would like people to know? I'm putting you on the spot.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I'm a psychiatrist. I mean, I'm reluctant to say it because people freak out. Yeah.
You said something about the doctor that you worked with, so I figured you were in the medical field somewhere, but
Yeah, an emergency room. So
Ah.
it's emergency room psychiatry. Yeah.
Interesting.
nice.
That's cool. So did the explanation of the Pro Series stuff make sense? Did that answer your question?
It did. It
Awesome.
did. And we'll just have to wait and see, you know, I don't know if I can slide into those regionals or not. We'll see. But then even with the regionals, I have to make best lifter, right?
Right, but I don't think that's going to be a problem for you. I mean, I'm not a predictor of the future, but based on the numbers and the math I've been doing, like you're probably the favorite to win the Pro Series if you get in. So I'm pretty sure you should probably be okay with getting best lifter.
Oh, I
in the
wouldn't
regionals.
underestimate Alicia. She is an amazing lifter. She's got a lot of experience, very strong, and yeah, competitive. So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. See, you're just doing what I did, giving props to the other competitor. And you just did it back.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun.
Have you ever seen those videos from Anatoly, I think is his name, where he pretends he's like a janitor and mild, meek janitor, and there's a guy in the gym that's lifting 425 and thinking it's crazy, and he pretends he's a janitor and he walks up and he's like, "Oh, I need to clean. Can I move this?" And they're like, "Oh, you won't be able to pick that up." And then he picks it up for reps. Like I feel
Oh.
like that could be you.
Yeah.
Like you could just like sneak in, you're like the cleaning lady, and some guy is just squatting something, and you just take it and squat it a couple times and put it back. And yes,
That's a great, like, if you wanted to get like social media famous, which I'm sure you don't care about that, but if you wanted to, that would totally be the way to do it.
Yep.
Because nobody, it's like when Jen Thompson benches with like the football teams and everybody's like blown away. Like you walk into a
Exactly.
gym and just like start lifting other people's weights, like they would lose
Yeah.
their mind. That would be so
Yes.
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, I walk into the gym
Yes.
and I will have very polite young men want to know if they want me to help, if I need help with lifting.
Mm,
and things.
Yeah.
It's like, no,
I
I
bet.
got it. Thanks.
I think a lot of that is because I mean, to be blunt, there are so many like frail old ladies because
Yeah,
they don't take
sadly.
that step to lift weights or
Yeah,
worry about their fitness. And I think
yeah.
that's
And then,
what I love about you is like you're kind of proving to all those people like, hey, it can be done.
yes, it can. They can totally turn it around if they put the work in and be consistent. Yes,
And
absolutely.
you started at 65, is that what you said?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
like
was not athletic. Never. I mean,
Hmm.
it's not like I was an athlete in my younger years at all. So,
so
Yeah.
take notes, everybody out there listening.
yeah,
I mean, I think everyone benefits from strength training. Like,
absolutely.
it doesn't matter where you are. It's just, being consistent and doing something that is,
Yeah.
you don't have to pick up anything and be crazy about it. As long as you're consistent and you're, you know,
No, us humans were designed for that, and you
mhm.
got to use it. That's absolutely.
Yep. Yeah. To use it or lose it.
That's right.
And, I think the number one reason for people to get into nursing homes is, falling and not being able to get up off the ground.
Yeah.
I don't want to be there.
Me either.
I got a couple of skinned knees. But I was able to get up. Yeah.
Yeah, but somebody else, another 73-year-old lady would have broken bones.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah, versus skin knees. I'll take that every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I can only imagine how hard it is sometimes because I know, I mean, I'm 55 and just from the time since I was 50 to, 51 is a little harder, 52, that the aches and pains at just 55 is, yeah. So I can't bitch about that at all anymore.
No, you just keep moving.
Yep.
So I got another question, Shelly. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Oh, well, I don't know. Are there M5s?
There are.
Well, let's go for it. I'm just really excited to see how far I can go with this, how strong I can get. So, I want to be able to keep lifting for sure, no matter what.
Awesome. I agree with that. Do you want to talk about your recent injury a little bit or not?
Oh, well, it was a torn hamstring. It was
Oh,
a
really?
pretty nasty one. Yeah.
Mm.
And it was I just kept moving. I've never had an injury like that before, so it was worrisome. I didn't know how long or if I was going to be able to get back, but you know what? I'm squatting. I'm still squatting, and I'm still deadlifting, and it's feeling much better, and it looks like hopefully I've got that behind me.
How I guess did it happen squatting or deadlifting or was it lifting?
Squat.
And
Yeah.
then how long did it take you to kind of bounce back?
Well, let's see. This happened September of last year, and I'm just now the squats are just now starting to build close to where I was before. Not quite there yet.
Mm.
So in 7 months, you basically went from torn hamstring to back to normal
Yeah.
at 73 years old.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just putting the data out there for people to hear.
Yeah. I just kept moving,
Yep.
And Andy Baker's rehab of sled push pull seemed to really do the trick.
Hamstring's a long and tough one to recover from.
Yeah.
It can be one of those persistent, lengthy recoveries. So
Yeah. Well, I have to be careful, and I can't stress it too much. But knock on wood, it seems like it's really calming down, and
mm,
yeah, I'm able to deadlift and able to squat, and yeah, it's bench press is what it is. So
That's
I've
our
heard that
motto on the
before.
team too.
yeah.
Bench. It is what it is.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Nice.
Oh man. Well, I think that's all the questions I had. Anything else you want to throw out there to everybody or? You've had enough of us.
This has been fun. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for being on. We appreciate it. It was good. I think we were talking about this before we started recording. I think this is the first time we've actually met.
Yeah.
I think we've been around like same meets before, but I don't think we've ever officially met. So at least for me, it's nice to meet you officially.
Yeah, it's good to meet you too. Yeah.
Me as well. Nice to meet you.
You too, Laura. It's been good. Yeah.
Well, good look at regionals.
Yeah.
Putting that out there.
Yep.
And go get that pro card.
Yep.
We'll see you in the finals. So cool. All right. Well, thank you everybody for listening. Oh, Shelly, where can people follow you on Instagram?
Oh, well, I have one. What is it? Shelly Ann -28, something like that. It's like a phone number, you don't know. I don't know what it is.
All right. So that's usually where people give their own Instagram handle, but I will go ahead and give yours.
Oh,
to
okay.
everybody, since I know
I
what
appreciate
it
it.
is. Shelly_Ann_28. So yeah, that's right. So you can follow her there. I should be your PR person.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh man. But no, it was really great meeting you. Great talking with you. Like I said, best of luck at the upcoming meets, and
Thank
I'm
you.
sure we will see you sooner than later.
Yeah, I hope so.
All right. Very good. Well, thanks everybody for listening. Shelly, thanks for joining us. And I guess until next time, we'll catch you all later. Bye.
Bye now.
Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed today's episode of the Powerlifting and Power Ballads podcast, please remember to subscribe and share it with your friends.